Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is Thorn with Game Design Lexicon, and we are playing. What the hell are we playing? Project Space Station for the Commodore 64. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday today. Mine's going okay. Tried to get some sleep. I actually made it to midnight last night before I got so tired I needed to go to sleep, which is a first in a while. Normally, I can't make it that long before I absolutely have to crash out. And in this case, I made it that long, but unfortunately my body still does that thing where it's like, I know you made it up till midnight. I know you stayed up like 18 plus hours, but you're still only going to sleep for 5 hours. So, 5 o'clock in the morning, I was just wide awake. Let's see. We were looking at emergency modules, which we need to buy. So let's buy one. And once we're done buying modules, we can pull money out of it so we can reallocate it to other places. So the communications module is used in all research and development projects that require the collection and analysis of satellite imagery. This module provides extended communication facilities such as multiple data and picture transmission channels at extremely high speed. It is capable of sending data to Earth based on sensing stations for further data processing via microwave or infrared signal beams. The communications module is a vital link in satellite ground station communications. So definitely one of those, right? That leaves us with 700 million, so we're getting low again. The hangar module. The hangar module is required for any EVA activities. It is the home base for the pod, supplying it with oxygen, fuel, and repair work. The orbital construction pods are stored here. A new pod is always brought out of storage from the hangar module. Pods are also repaired here, so if a pod is damaged during EVA, return it to a hangar module. Let's grab one of those, and that pulls us out of funds again. So let's exit. And wait a second, did I buy? Oh no, let's go back into budget here. So getting low on money in modules again. Let's take that back up to 1.5 maybe. And is my speed okay here? I want to make sure that my emulation speed's fine, because if it's too fast, it's going to make, because there are some action parts of the game which it may make too difficult if it's not properly set. So hangar module. Now we're going to do power module. The power module is a solar energy collector and energy storage device. At least one of these modules is required in order to provide power to the space station. All of the other modules need power to run them. The more modules docked to the station, the more power is needed. Each power module is capable of running approximately 5 modules. I wonder if that's... I'll have to check my thing to see if that's right. I guess I can do it here, right? The research projects greatly increase the energy consumption of the laboratory modules. Monitor your projects closely, for they sometimes need added energy. So 1 for every 5, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to have exactly 5 modules up there. So 1 power module. The radiator module is used to dissipate the high volume of heat that is built up by the power module. It is recommended a radiator module be coupled with each power module to prevent this. Overheating can cause serious damage to both the power module and other parts of the space station. So we definitely need a radiator. And that is it. So we got one of everything. And looks like somebody tried to make it through with a friggin' stream or viewer advertisement. So now we can pull all our money out of the modules budget. Let's see, let's go back to exit plan. Let's go back to space equipment here. Space equipment? Let's see, 6 space use suits. I wonder if... Oh, we should probably read this stuff, huh? Spacesuit, or EMU, short for Extravehicular Mobile Unit, is required when using a manned maneuvering unit. It protects crew members from the extreme temperatures of space and micrometeoroids, which could be very dangerous. The EMU is necessary whenever a crew member desires to leave the space station to conduct experiments or make routine emergency repairs. Providing oxygen and a small supply of water, the spacesuit is designed for only short space excursions. When used in conjunction with an MMU, a crew member is able to move about with relative ease to work on various projects. So we got one of those. We got one MMU. How much do those things cost? I guess we don't really need two of them. We do need eventually 2 orbital construction pods, but we'll worry about that later. Because of course, if one gets popped, it gets damaged beyond repair, then we'll need a second one to rescue them. We have satellites for now. Of course, we'll need more of those eventually. Reserve fuel tanks are kind of... Oh, wait a second. We're supposed to be reading these, aren't we? The manned maneuvering unit is used to do light repair work on the station and to conduct experiments. An MMU must be paired with a spacesuit. The MMU is designed to give a crew member full freedom of movement. By the use of the thrusters spraying nitrogen, the MMU operator can move about with great precision. MMUs have only a limited range and are used within a short range of the space station. Throughout the mission, the station repairs will be required, and MMU is essential for this task. It is a good idea to store several on board. Several, huh? To store several on board the space station. So I guess let's go ahead and get 2. And then we're probably only going to be doing 4 people per flight, so let's reduce the space suits down to 4 there. Orbital Construction Pod. The Orbital Construction Pod, or POD for short, is the mainstay of EVA operations. It's the piece of space equipment that is required for station construction, satellite deployment, satellite rescue, and space debris cleanup. The pod is maneuvered with nitrogen jet thrusters. The pod can pick up modules and dock them with others on the space station. The pod has limited supplies of oxygen and propellant that can be replenished at the hangar module from a fuel tank. The pod is fragile and can be damaged easily. Pod repair also takes place at the hangar module. Let's go ahead and pop that up to 2, because we're definitely going to need 2 of those eventually. So might as well grab it now, right? So payload assistant modules. The payload assistant module, or PAM for short, is joined to an orbital satellite. It serves as a rocket booster to propel a satellite into gynosynchronous orbit. I was able to get that word fine. This orbit is high above the Earth, about 23,000 miles up. 23,000 miles up? Okay. Where the speed of the orbit matches the rotation of the Earth. The result is that the satellite remains stationary over one point. This type of orbit is common for weather and communication satellites. In contrast, the space station is in a low orbit about 200 miles up. The shuttle also remains in low orbit, so the PAM is needed to boost satellites into this higher orbit. Okay. Reserve fuel tank. The reserve fuel tank provides refueling for the orbital construction pod. When the pod is docked to the fuel tank, it is automatically refueled. It is important to note that the fuel tank does not refill the pod's oxygen tanks. The pod must return to the hangar module for more oxygen. When the fuel tank is empty, it can be returned to the shuttle's cargo hold and brought back to Earth for recycling. This is a good way to save money. Interesting. So I got 2 of those. And then orbital satellites. The orbital satellite has many different uses and purposes. These satellites will be deployed in 2 different orbits. A low orbit that is similar to the stations or the shuttles, and much higher orbit called gynosynchronous orbit. Geosynchronous. Why did I say gynosynchronous? Whatever. The satellite may be used for weather monitoring, communications, or be defense related. It may provide the space station with data or be completely independent. Throughout your mission, there will be numerous requests to deploy these satellites. Respond to these requests as best as you can, for you receive revenue from each deployment. From time to time, you may be called upon to rescue a faulty satellite that is tumbling out of its orbit. Okay. Let's see, Biomedical Research Pack. The Biomedical Research Packet, known throughout the mission as a BioRes Pack, containing a variety of tools and test equipment that is required by many R&D projects. This packet is used to conduct genetic engineering tests for medical and biological tests involving new drugs and vaccines. This pack is stocked with laboratory animals and instruments that allow medical experts to perform a variety of experiments. Many of the items in the BioRes pack are perishable and must be replaced from time to time, like the live animals, for Christ's sakes. Jeez. The Material Science Research Pack, known throughout the mission as a MAT-RES pack, contain a variety of tools and test equipment that is required by many R&D projects. This pack contains specialized research equipment such as a furnace that utilizes electromagnetic and ultrasonic techniques to melt samples while holding them suspended without a container. This packet is essential when conducting metallurgical studies, and a broad range of materials processing and crystal growth devices are included. And last but not least, a general R&D pack. The general R&D research packet, known throughout the mission as GenRes pack, contain a variety of tools and tests equipment that is required by many R&D projects. The GenRes pack is used for basic research and is outfitted prior to launch with all the necessary instruments and supplies. It's a good practice to have a number of extra GenRes packs in storage to anticipate their need. The pack contains sensitive measurement devices that can be damaged or destroyed, so keep spares on hand. Okay. So we bought all our space modules, I think. So we have all our crew. We have our station design. Now launch scheduling. Oh man, I forgot to turn off auto packing. So I did read the manual before I started playing the game, of course. Let's see. R turns off auto packing. So here's our schedule, right? Starting with our first one. Oh, F1 toggles payload auto packing. So turn that off. So first thing I want to do is I need to unload shit. So flight engineer, shuttle pilots. Doop. Yeah, of course, see, the auto packing, the bad thing about it is it just kind of loads them as you buy the stuff, which, you know, may not be the order that you need it to go up in, right? So, yeah. Oh, wait a second. What was the crew on that second one? So we need a flight engineer and a shuttle pilot on each one. Oh, wait a second. Sullivan? Wasn't he on the... Oh, no, he wasn't. Okay. So... let's see. How do we add a crew member? Oh, F3 for more hold. Oh, there we go. Crew hold. Bonk. Nice. I know it doesn't say anything about the function keys in the manual, which is really interesting. So nothing on that one. And we want to make sure that we are unloading pretty much everything from these. Oops. Don't want to move them. Not yet, anyway. Oh, god dang it, Tom. Okay, pull the radiator mod off. And then construction pod. Then nothing on that one, and we have no other shuttle scheduled past that. So let's start off. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to be able to get up enough stuff for somebody to live in the thing first, right? So we're going to start off with, because if somebody's up there in the space station, they'll be able to launch satellites for us, right? So the first thing we're going to want to take with us is, before anything else, and this is going to want to stay up there, we're going to need one of the construction pods, right? And then we're going to need the hangar module, because that'll allow us to store the construction pod away. Then we probably need a crew module for the crew to stay in. And we're going to need that before anything else. Of course, there's no room here. What can we fit? Wonder if we can fit the docking module. There we go. Okay, so our first thing, we'll have the hangar module, another docking module, which we won't be able to place just yet, but it'll at least be up there. As well as the... Let's see, let's also pack a few other things. Now, we definitely want as many suits up there as we have people that are going to be staying on it, so, which is why we have 4 so far. But let's go ahead and load on those suits. There we go. So we can fit all 4 of them on there. How about MMUs? Can we fit any of those? Only 1. So now we're fully packed on that first shuttle, right? So second shuttle, we want to continue packing stuff that has to do with crew. So let's do a crew module. That'll allow us to place that other docking module. Let's do an emergency module, because that'll allow us to keep crew up there after that. And then I don't think we're going to be able to fit any other modules. So let's head back over to here. Let's start. Now, after that, there's going to be room for people to live at this point. I think that pretty much gives us everything that we need for people to live up there. So let's move to Shuttle 3. And with Shuttle 3, we're going to fit as much of the remaining modules as possible. The comm, the lab. That's all we're going to be able to fit for now. Let's go with... Now, by the third one, we're going to need to leave a person up there, right? So let's start doing PAMs. Oh, actually, no, let's not do a PAM first. Let's do a satellite first, if it'll fit. There we go. And then this last module here, or last shuttle here, we have the power module, we have the radiator module. So by the time this 4th shuttle is up, we will have all of our gear, all of our module gear up. So let's also do another satellite. And then this last shuttle, or I guess it's not necessarily the last, but with that one, we are going to pretty much pack in everything else that won't fit so far. Oh, those fuel tanks are freaking big, dude. And we can't fit that second construction pod, which is fine. We'll go ahead and put that on the last one. Now, this one right here, even though we have, you know, being that it's not full, it probably won't go up, right? So F3, that's everything. So now we have everything scheduled. The only thing we have to do is we need to get our research project Exit launch scheduling. Okay, I'm not going to bother with launching an approval yet because we want to do an R&D project, right? So this will give us an idea of who we're going to need up there. So let's start off with, I wonder if we should just start at the very top of the list, right? There are several pages of them. So let's start off with crop inventory. Probably be a good time to save our game too. Now that we got a whole bunch of stuff done. Using a remote sensing imagery from Landsat and other satellites, determine the amount of land in the U.S. that is being used to grow crops. This program will monitor and tabulate crop production totals for use by government planners and farmers for help in forecasting the size and time of harvest. More lucrative government contracts for crop study possible. So with this, we're going to need an agronomist, an environmentalist, a geologist, and gen res packs, right? So let's get those three. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. So an agronomist, a environmentalist, a geologist, and gen res packs. Okay, easy enough, right? And we're not gonna initiate that just yet. So let's get out of here. Bonk. Let's go to plan. Space equipment. Let's grab us 5 gen research packs. Those aren't too bad. Oh, we'd already read those. I don't need to load. Didn't need to load that. Damn it. Loading. Oh, does hitting the button speed it up? No, of course not. $20 million per. That's not cheap. Okay, so we got those. Now we need the crew for it. Let's also give ourselves a save here while we're thinking about it. And that is save number 3. Probably not going to need a lot of saves for this one. Okay. Biologist, chemist, material engineer, geologist. We need one of those. J. Meineke. Let's take a look at Mr. Meineke or Mrs. Meineke or whatever. I guess I don't know from just the name, huh? And we can have them go ahead and accompany the other guys up on the flights up. And then eventually, once we have enough room up there, we'll just leave them up there, right? And once we have them all up there, we can start the project. PhD Geology and Geophysics, professor at UC Berkeley, focus on research on plate tectonics and crustal deformations. Early fieldwork include locating earthquake stress points along the major faults in western U.S. Tell you what, he doesn't really sound like our man, now does he? Interviewer comments. Unique to say the least. Has outrageous sense of humor. His lectures are stand-up comedy routines. He uses everything from animated cartoons to team sports. Environmental conservation. Let's take a look at the other... Oh shit, he loves Bloom County. That's awesome. I'm reading through Bloom County right now. Tunes for Our Lives by Berkeley Bros. That's so awesome, dude. Okay, so let's take a look at the other geologists, because there should be at least more than one of each of these, right? Here's a geologist here, S. Travers. They actually give the numbers of how many of each of these guys there are. And I definitely want to make sure that I'm choosing the right guys that seem like they fit the mission that I'm doing. Because eventually that'll become relevant. PhD geology staff mineralogist for U.S. Geological Survey. Explored for copper deposits in northern Chile for Anacoma copper and mapped the natural gas deposits in western Indonesia for Wexen Corp. Interviewer comments, true adventure. Geology provides Scott with excuse to satisfy his cravings for globetrotting. He is great at organizing groups and delineating tasks, very often in the middle of a hubbub of activity. He still manages to ferret out a formidable amount of information, which he swiftly acts upon. Armed with a considerable expanse of personal knowledge and expertise, he can always be depended upon to unearth his quarry, whether it be animal, vegetable, or mineral. So that actually sounds more like our guy, right? Lead an expedition up to the north facing of Mount Everest. Quote, I dig dirt. Associates assessment. Scott will do anything, go anywhere for a fine mineral specimen. So that is probably going to be the guy that we're going for. S. Travers. I think there's probably only 2 of those geologists, right? Yeah, so we're already at the beginning again. So S. Travers is our man. Bonk. Crew member added to space duty roster. So we now have our geologist, right? Okay, so let's take a look at agronomists. Let's see. Here's one right here. C. Waite. Born 1921. What? That would make him really old even at this time. 85 minus 21. That would make him 64. So he's going into space at 64 years of age. That wouldn't happen, would it? Not in 1985, I don't think. I mean, could I be wrong? I don't know. PhD economist, PhD in economics and agriculture, has worked for several government agencies, including the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Crop Management and Forecasting, formerly professor of agronomy at the University of Michigan. This already sounds like our guy. Dedicated to help farmers increase their productivity. This guy sounds perfect. Old-fashioned and hardworking, believes the modern farmer can prosper with the right combination of hard work and space-age technology. A great organizer and diplomat who can negotiate compromises between the most fiercely opposed parties. Charles is committed to making sure that the billions of dollars that are spent on the space program in some way benefit the world's farmers. Last book read, Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. Last accomplishment, chaired a symposium that tackled the problem of the desertification of the Great Plains region. Quote, the greatest challenge facing mankind is a basic one, to feed everyone. That's nice. He sounds like, what's his name? There's a, shit. My mind's failing me right now, so whatever. Associates assessment. Every once in a while, you meet a truly dedicated, self-sacrificing person. Charles is such a person. So he is our agronomist. That means we need one more guy, an environmentalist. So none on this screen. Environmentalist. There we go. El Mendoza. Okay, PhD ecology, professor of ecology, Harvard University, former administrator for the Environmental Protection Agency, currently studying the impact of acid rain on the lakes and forests of southern Canada and northeastern U.S. A visionary in his field, possessed by an almost religious fervor to... Ooh, and that is a break. This is Thorn with Game Design Lexicon. We are currently playing Project Space Station for the Commodore 64, a wonderful mid-80s space project simulator, I guess. Space program simulator, I guess, would be a better way of stating it. You can subscribe if you like watching this content. You can subscribe to us here on Twitch, where we do stream currently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, noon p.m. till 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's GMT minus 6. You can also catch us over on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, we air our videos usually about a week after we play them over here. You can also watch our backlog. We have quite a big backlog there. Let's see, other social media platforms. You can just hit the abouts on both of these platforms to know what other social media platforms we occupy. I'm going to take a short break, wash out my coffee cup, hit the bathroom, and refill my water jug, and I will be right back with some more Project Space Station for the Commodore 64.